In this video, I'm just going to give you some advice on how to check and debug your HTML. So if I'm just going to go over here, now look at this. This is a really nice example of well-formatted HTML code. So here we are, we've got the doc type, we're telling it it's HTML, and then we have the head section. Notice how everything is well indented. These things are not indented because they're not inside each other. This is perfectly formatted code. Notice how we indent back out again. Now, I just wanted to show you an example that wasn't indented as well. It's much harder to check this code because it hasn't been indented. So before you submit today, girls, please do the following. Check your code is indented, and I will explain to you what I mean by that. Now, let's just have a look, see if we can find any errors here. Now, notice I just put that link on the same line there. So that was technically a bit of an error. Now, what else? We've got the link to the style sheet. Maybe we should try and bring that up onto the same line as well. Okay, now this is all fine, this is great, but as soon as we get into the body, we need to indent. Now, I can indent each line individually, like this, but that will take a while. It's better if you just highlight all of the lines, and then we can indent everything together. So everything between this opening body tag and this closing body tag needs to be indented, and I pressed the tab key there on the left hand side of my keyboard. Be careful though, sometimes if you do that it might erase all your code. Let me just show you what I mean. If you do it like this, I think it might erase everything. There we go. Okay, so there's a way to do it, and the way to do it is to highlight on the first line, in the first line, to the last line, and if I press tab now, it indents across. Okay, so let's just check now. Here's a div opening, and now everything inside this div should be indented. So I'm going to take all this lot, and I'm going to indent like this. This is an error. We've already got one body tag here. We don't need another body tag here. In fact, this is an error. So we'll delete that. Okay, and I just press Shift and down to get rid of that line. Now, this is all inside a div. Now, where's the closing tag for this div? Okay, well this is the header div, and this is the closing tag for the header div. So let's just put a space there. Now this one here doesn't seem to have a closing tag, so this menu bar here currently doesn't have a closing div tag. So let's close that off. So now it's open and closed. Here's the header, closed. Here's another div, the banner image, and ooh, this looks like it's in the wrong place. Rel style sheet, that looks like it's come out of one of these link tags, so we need to delete that. And we're going to indent that because it's inside this div, and then we'll delete that space there. There we go. So we've got our banner image, and yes, that's great. Now, content row. Okay, so here we're starting a new div, and we must indent now. And we'll indent the content, and we'll indent those as well. Column 1, okay, so column 2, and I'm going to just tab those across, so indent these two lines, and then we're going to tab this across. Okay, and then this is the end of the row of content. So here we begin the div, which is a content row. Here we end the div, which is a content row. And finally, we've got our div, which is a footer. And there we go. So let's just check if that all works now. Okay, so there we are. There's the menu bar. There's the header. There's the banner image. Now, obviously, it could do with a bit of color. It could do with a bit of content. But that is now perfectly formatted HTML code. It's much easier to debug, and it's much easier to read. And more importantly still, it's going to get you a higher grade, okay? Because clear communication is essential with code. Alright, I hope that was helpful. If you need some help with the shortcut keys, come and ask me.